Day number 3 here, graphing lines. We're just going to throw stuff at you. Let's see what you retain from the previous ones. Like as always, pause it, try to solve it. All right. If you're stuck, hit that play button, let it roll a little bit. So here we go. Question number 1. We're going to give you a equation and we're going to ask you to graph it. So here we go. 3x plus 2y equals 5. Graph away here, people. So when I see this particular problem, I've got 2 paths I can go down. I can use the idea of finding my intercepts there because I'm in the standard form. I could also end up rewriting it into slope-intercept form. So I'm going to show you both of them because they're going to work out nicely. The preferred technique here is to use your intercepts. So we're going to plug in a 0 for our x, and then we'll end up solving for the y. We'll plug in a 0 for our y. We'll end up solving for an x. So if I plug in a 0 for an x, 3 times 0, 0. So it's just 2y equals 5. So divide both sides by 2, and I get 5 halves. You could tell me 2.5 there. That works as well. And then I'm going to plug in 0 for y. All right. So if I plug in 0 for y, 2 times 0, 0. I got 3x equals 5. Divide both sides by 3. Hey, I'm going to get a 5/3. In other words, 1 2/3. So one of the issues with this is that I don't get whole numbers that are here. So I can plot 2.5. Good estimate, that's there. So 0, 5 halves. So 0, don't go left to right, go up 2.5. So 1, 2, 3. I'm going to be right there in the middle. Okay, 5/3. Go to the right 1 2/3. So to the right 1, there's 2. So right about there. All right, there we go. And my line's going to look something like this. Okay, so again, a little bit more of an estimate, but people, when you're graphing, a lot of these are going to be estimates that are here. So if you're not comfortable with that, and you know your teacher's saying something like, well, we need actual points there. Okay, now I'm going to go into my slope-intercept form. So what we're going to end up doing is subtracting that 3x over. So I've got 2y equals negative 3x plus 5. Remember, slope-intercept form, I want that x first. Even though I'm thinking 5 minus 3x, okay, I'm going to write it out so that x is first. And now I'm going to divide everyone by 2. And when we do that, you're going to get a y. You're going to get negative 3 halves x. And then the 5 divided by the 2 is going to give me that 2.5 again. And remember, it should match up because, hey, this is the y-intercept, which is exactly what I found over there. So I am there. We're good to go. Slope down 3 to the right 2. 1, 2, 3. And then to the right 1, 2. Now, the only thing about that is I'm like, wait a second. Down 3 to the right 2. Oh, well, remember, I'm in between. So if I'm going down 3, I'm in between 1, I'm in between 2, I'm in between 3. Going to go to the right 2, and there it is. There it is. So keep that in mind. You have to watch if you're in fractions that, hey, if I'm at 2.5, if I drop down 1, all right, 1.5. Drop down another 1, I'm at a half. Drop down another 1, I'm at negative 1/2. And sure enough, they match up. So there we go. So let's see someone else here. Question number 2. This time what I'm going to have you do is you're going to graph and write the equation of the line. So we're going to tie everyone in together here because this problem is going to kind of do everything here. We're going to use the point negative 3, 4. I'm going to tell you that we're going to use the equation of y equals negative 2x plus, and let's go with 1. And I'm going to tell you that I want the equation and I want the graph that's perpendicular. All right. And, goes through that ordered pair of 3, negative 2. So there's a lot that's going on here. So let me throw it all together. We're going to use, all right, this particular information here, and I want the equation of a line in a graph that's going to go through that ordered pair of 3, negative 2. All right? So the idea here is, well, I need an xy axis. Okay? I want it perpendicular and to go through this point. So perpendicular, opposite reciprocal, which tells me I need to use the slope of 1/2. 1/2 because the opposite of a negative is a positive. The reciprocal of 2 is 1/2. Now, you might be thinking about, well, what about that ordered pair negative 3/4 at the beginning? Well, that's kind of extra information. I really don't need that at all. I know, it was sneaky there. It was sneaky that's there. It's more of it was a bad question. I kind of changed the question midstream. That's there. So, again, if I confused you, my apologies for that. It wasn't my intent. But now I've got it. So, all right. So, I do know I want to go through the ordered pair 3, negative 2. So, 1, 2, 3, down 2. All right, there's that point right there. I know the slope is 1/2. I'm going to rise 1 and I'm going to run 2. I'm going to rise 1 and I'm going to run 2. So I've got my graph that's there. All right, but we want that equation of the line. So because we want the equation, I'm going to use my point slope formula. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. And now I can plug stuff in. There's my x coordinate, there's my y coordinate. So I've got y minus the negative 2, so it's y plus 2. My slope is 1/2. My x, we leave it in, because remember, when we write out these equations, I need a y, I need an x, minus 3. Okay, a little cleanup here, a little distributed property here. So I've got y plus 2 equals 1/2 x minus 3. I'm going to subtract 2 from both sides. So my equation here is y equals 1/2 x minus 5. All right, I'm going to take a look at my graph and see if that kind of matches up. Now, remember here, if we had grid here, you can see I'm down 2. It looks like 3, 4, 5, right around there. And again, a positive slope, we're rising 1, running 2. Rising 1, running 2. Which means to go down the other way, I need to go down 1, and I need to go to the left 2. And let's think about it. A negative divided by a negative, well, that's a positive. So you can see here if we're going down 1 and then over 2. Down 1 and then over 2. All right, we're going to end up passing right through it. So, yeah, that's what we're after there today. So that might be one where you want to rewind, pause it, and see if you can get from start to finish again. Remember, a lot of what we do is practice. So it's about seeing the same thing all over again. Because if you can talk your way through a particular problem, then it's just changing the numbers that are there. So again, perpendicular, opposite reciprocal. All right. Point slope formula we're making use out of there. We're grabbing slope from the original equation. There you go, people. What a good day.